Good evening, everyone. Since I'm in India, it's evening here. I'm Preeti. I have done some storytelling for children earlier, but never for adults. And I am kind of nervous right now because this is online. But I'll start anyways. My story is based on my personal experience from my childhood to the start of my college days. Uh, a certain series of events which I reflect on pretty often, and it has shaped how I am as an adult right now. I thought I would give it the form of a story and share it with all the adults here. I thought it would be a great forum to share my experience in the form of a story. So this might not be very long, but here is how it goes. So once upon a time, there was this girl who lived in a small town with her parents in a lovely house which had a small garden in the backyard. Uh, the girl loved being in her room, loved being on her own, and the window to her room opened towards the garden and beyond. She was always fascinated by the things which she could see outside her window. Everything outside her window really made her look at things in a very different way. She wanted to understand how things are. She wanted to explore more. She wanted to go out. Beyond her garden and the room, towards the end of the road, was a small bridge which took her to the other side of the town. But she had never crossed the bridge. She had never been on the other side of the town. It was a lovely afternoon. It was raining. She loved rain. The small droplets falling from the windowsill, the frogs croaking around, little tadpoles in the puddles, and some chirping of the birds around. She was just lost in that world. When the rain stopped, she walked out of her room towards the garden, was just enjoying looking at the frogs, the birds, the tiny droplets of water on the leaves and the flowers. Suddenly, she heard a lovely sound of a musical instrument which had strings. The sound just mesmerized her. It was as if she was drawn towards the sound like a magnet. She started walking towards it. She kept walking and she realized that she had reached the bridge which she had never crossed. As soon as she was trying to take the first step towards the bridge, she felt a hand on her shoulder. She was startled. She just moved behind, and on her back she saw her mother. The mother asked, "Hey, little girl, where are you going? What is it that you need on the other side of the town? Whatever we need is pretty much here on our side of the town. Why are you going there?" The girl said, "Mama, do you hear the sound of the strings? Such a lovely instrument. I feel as if every part of my body inside is dancing in joy, though I am standing still. This music, it just draws me towards it. I want to see what it is. I want to learn how to play this music." She looked at her mother in great anticipation, and her mother looked back at her, and mother said, "Oh dear, as I said, our side of town is perfect. Whatever we need is just here. Plus, how much you should concentrate on your studies and grades. You don't do well in math. You might as well pay more attention to it. Music can wait. Music cannot build your life, but grades can. The girl was disheartened. She nodded in silence, held her mother's hand, and just walked back towards her house. Few months passed by. She was set in her routine. She would go to school, come back, do her homework, listen to her parents, and looked out of the window whenever she wanted to sit in silence and enjoy what she loved doing, looking at birds, flowers, bees, listening to the frogs, looking at the rain. It was October. The atmosphere was filled with festivities and music. In India, October is the month where we have a lot of festivals around, and it was Dashera, the 9 day long festival which celebrates the goddess, the Devi goddess. She saw a bunch of kids dressed beautifully in various kind of costumes. They were laughing, they were humming, and they were running towards the bridge. She was amazed. She was wondering, why are the kids going to that side of the town? What is it? They look so happy. She went to the kitchen and she asked her mother, Mama, I see a bunch of kids going to the other side of the town. They are dressed so beautifully. Can I go see what they are going to do? Can I be one of them? And her mother said, Oh, why would you want to go to the other side of the town? Didn't I tell you whatever we need is all there on our side of the town? They're just probably going to do some singing, some drama. Yeah, it's fun, but kind of waste of time, I would say. Why don't you just sit at home and revise for your exams, which you need to appear for after the holidays? Again, the girl nodded in silence and obeyed her mother. It became a routine. She became the most obedient, the most lovable child around, who would never speak up, who would just listen to her parents and not say much. Then a few months passed away. Years started passing away like that. And she would keep looking out of the window at the garden, at the bridge, at the other kids who were able to go to the other part of the town crossing the bridge. One day she saw a group of girls and boys carrying cricket gear. They had bats, their balls, their pads along with them, and they were happily running towards the bridge. Probably they were going to play a match on the other side of the town. The girl got excited. She would at least wanted to witness the cricket match. How exciting would it be to see the match, to see the kids playing, boys and girls together? She thought, yeah, why not? Such a great opportunity. Let me go and ask Mama. She walked towards her mother, but she just stood there in silence. Without asking a question, she returned back to her room. She probably knew the answer. Everything we need is on this part of the town. Why do you need to go there? Another couple of years passed. And then this girl cleared her class 10 exams. She had to choose some subjects of her choice, and she loved psychology. She said how fascinating it is to understand about the human mind. Oh wow, that is what I am going to study now that I can choose a subject of my choice. She proudly went to her father, disclosing what she would love to do when she goes to college. And her father looked disappointed. He said, "Huh? What? What is it that you wish to study? Psychology? Why would you want to study that? You should either become a doctor or an accountant, because that is what we do in this part of the town. It gets you good money and your life is set. Why would you want to explore things which we don't know at all? How do you know you will manage that?" Again, the girl nodded in silence and obeyed. She kept studying, but with no interest. The numbers, the words made no sense to her. She just kept cramming and she did clear her exams. She graduated from school. Her father was proud. He thought now is the moment when my girl will also become an accountant, just like me, and we'll together start a firm and do great things. But the girl was seriously thinking that what is it? Why is it that I'm never allowed to be on the other side of the town? And when will it be that when I can actually go to the other part of the town? She kept thinking. She spent the whole night gazing out of that window from where she could hear the lovely musical instruments, the kids who were smiling, the kids who were playing, the kids who were dancing. And right at the crack of dawn, she decided that she'll go cross the bridge. She opened her window. She looked at the birds. She smiled at the flowers. She put on her chappals and just started towards the bridge. And you know what? This time she crossed the bridge and never looked back. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. That was very beautiful.
Thank you.
So that is related or inspired by some of your own experiences?
Yeah, so no prizes for guessing. The girl is me. I never became the accountant. I took up psychology, and my parents are very proud of me now. But
Wonderful.
it took a whole lot of courage to actually cross the bridge and not be the obedient girl that uh, everyone wanted to me to be. So
Hmm. There was a lot of suspense. The suspense was building up because we knew
okay.
eventually that something had to give. Uh, and so when you finally crossed over, did your parents, were they angry at you, or did they accept?
No, there wasn't much acceptance. In fact, for 1 year, my father did not talk to me at all because he was highly disappointed in me.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was studying what I love to study, so I was among the top 5 students in the college. And then finally, he got the hang of things that, okay, this is what I really love doing.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Very good. Denise.
I just wanted to say that your story was wonderful. And one of the things that made it wonderful and that makes wonderful stories what they are is it was just extremely relatable. And I think that there are many of us
Yeah,
who have lived, grown up being told, no, you don't want to do that, or no,
yeah.
you can't do that, or that's not for you, that's for somebody else. And so, thank you very much. It was an extremely relatable story.
Thank you, Denise. That was the idea behind narrating the story, that it is so relatable, especially for the people from my kind of generation who've been kind of always forced to live up to the expectations of their parents and not listen to what they want to do. and because of which we stop believing in ourselves. So I wanted to narrate this because I want everyone to believe in themselves.
Hmm. And the bridge was a very good symbol. Crossing the bridge was a symbol of this following your own inner inclination.
Yeah. So actually, there is actually a small bridge which was close to my house. So there's
Oh,
this like, yeah, there was this uh, um you could call it a stream or something, which was passing through that road, and we had to go to. I mean, obviously, it's more metaphorical in the story, but there was actually a bridge closer to my house.
very good. Kevin?
Yes. First of all, I'm popping up too often. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk this much. Just a participant. But anyways, ma'am, I just wanted to give my regards that the story was, your story was deeply inspiring. I mean, I was able to feel that desperation in every moment that which was building up. Like
Yeah,
it was just beautifully conveyed in the story, that what you felt inside about the desperation of following something that your heart tells you to, but not being able to. Especially growing up in India and seeing the struggles of most of my female friends, and I could
yeah.
kind of understand and relate. Even guys pretty much have the same situation. So, like, not exactly, but little much. And I was able to even connect with my story. So it was the moment that you told that you crossed the bridge and you never looked back. It was like a strong shout inside everyone's heart to just run, follow your dreams. And that, I would say, deeply inspired me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kavin. You're being very generous with your praise. And yeah, desperation is the right word. That's what I had felt for years altogether. Thank you.
I'm glad the story has a happy ending. That kind of story can have a tragic ending.
Yeah, it certainly can. I agree with you. I'm glad I could turn it to a happy ending.
Very good. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for allowing me to narrate.
Mhm.